From here, open guard. To me, this is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is John Jock Machado Jiu-Jitsu as I learned it. Bob's gonna reach under one leg and he's gonna go to lift the leg in an open guard position. As a beginner, it's very common that you would allow that leg to get on your shoulder, on your neck, and that's exactly what Bob wants, so he can come straight forward, pin you flat on your back, and utilize that against you to turn the corner and pass. So two elements here is that you would never want your opponent to put the foot on the shoulder, but the foot would be at the highest level hooked at his bicep or the crotch of his arm. Certainly Bob can still shuck this up onto his shoulder, being that the distance was advantageous to him, but your desire is to always bite down on that bicep. I would recommend you bite down as hard as necessary based on the aggression or the energy at which the top person is coming forward. If he's not exploding, there's no reason to bite down hard and be heavy and be super light. If he decides to add tension or come forward, now you can add tension to his arm. If you are heavy on this arm, meaning that your knee is coming down, his elbow is down, your foot, super important factor is that when you knee shield in this way, or when you're disallowing their lift and you're biting in their bicep, that your foot is always going to be lower than your knee. You never want your foot higher than your knee. That's the beginning of the end as the person on top progresses. So the things that happen here is you get beat. We don't want to be there. You want to be here. Bob goes to lift. As you hip out, this is your perfect example of a hip escape from open guard. He lifts, you hip out. Your bottom foot is a distance creator. Your bottom foot is everything. If this bottom foot isn't involved, he collapses, he comes forward. This inside knee, sure, at times, this foot is a guarantee he's not coming through that distance that's beneficial to him. He's going to switch to the other side. Bob's going to reach under the leg. He's going to put his hand on the ground and he's going to go to lift in a simple drill or the option that we use. He lifts and you're going to hip out. So at the same time the person lifts, you're going to hip out and put yourself in a hip escape. I'd recommend you hold the sleeve or hold the hand. The back foot, the left foot in this case of mine, hooking at or about the tricep or armpit, depending on where it lies. This bottom foot creates distance. Again, without this bottom foot, it's very problematic. He's still going to come forward with that energy. So to make the drill happen, Bob switches sides. You're going to lift. He's going to lift, foot below the knee, biting down as necessary to disallow Bob the shuck to get the foot on the shoulder. Bottom foot, distance creator. Further than that, he's holding tight. You're hooking the foot on his armpit, keeping it tight. Hand on his hand on his sleeve, so you can pull that or check that. Bottom foot is always tense, checking his other hand or reaching for the lapel. Here, he reaches underneath. Again, as soon as he lifts, you're just hipping out. Bottom foot creates distance. Top foot is biting as necessary, connecting with that foot on the outside. Next step in this would be, I would check Bob's hand. So here he's holding, you're disallowing that grip and now just circling the foot to the inside. And again, your foot should hit his tricep and lift and give him this. You want an inside shield on your partner. Your partner on the inside is elbows in. Your partner on the outside is elbows out. I would always recommend you look for their elbows out. Distance creator to the inside, checking that hand or circling that foot to press to the bicep. Now you have a full inside shield. He reaches underneath, move your hip out as he lifts, foot bites down as necessary, check the hand, circle the foot to an inside control. Bottom foot can check his bicep or just stay where it's at based on what you feel is best. And then you just run this in repetition. He underhooks, turn your hip out, foot lower than the knee, bottom foot creates distance. Check the hand, circle the foot, inside control, bottom foot if necessary or if desired, inside control. Bob goes, he lifts underneath, move your hip out. Bottom foot creates distance. If he's inside the bottom foot, it's problematic. Biting down. Foot's hooked at the armpit. Check the hand, circle the foot. Inside control, beneficial to the bottom player. Bob goes again. Super simple drill that's everything in open guard. If you don't understand these principles, if you're allowing your knee to collapse below your foot, the guy's gonna get the pass. A good top player is gonna feel that and immediately capitalize. And I know if I'm on top, it's really all I look for. At any point in my top game, passing the guard, my desire would only be to find my partner's foot. One of my great desires is this, because I know that once his foot is at this level, very challenging for him to recover and come back. So super necessary to understand these principles of where that knee line is and creating space with the bottom foot, stopping the grips and controls which allow their progression. Jiu-Jitsu is a control game. If they do not have grips and controls, then there's no progression for them. So defensively, we're stopping all grips and controls.